Hello everyone, welcome to Old Coins News. Did you know that a small penny can hold a big history and sometimes an even bigger value? Could there be a coin in your collection that might be worth a fortune? Today we're taking a look at 3 rare and historic 1-cent coins, including the famous Lincoln wheat penny and the legendary steel penny. So, let's get started. First up, we have the famous 1943 D Lincoln wheat cent, one of the most interesting and historically important 1-cent coins ever issued by the United States. On the obverse of the coin, you can see the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1943 with the D mint mark, indicating that it was struck at the Denver Mint. Above the portrait appears In God We Trust, while the word Liberty is found on the left side. The portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, had already become one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. During World War II, copper was considered a strategic metal needed for military equipment and ammunition, so the United States Mint temporarily changed the composition of the 1-cent coin from bronze to zinc-coated steel. As a result, the 1943 D Lincoln cent was produced with a silver-gray appearance that made it look very different from traditional copper pennies. The reverse of the coin features the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent, positioned between 2 wheat ears, giving rise to the nickname wheat penny. The wheat design, also created by Victor David Brenner, had been used since 1909 and remained in production until 1958. The Denver Mint produced more than 217 million 1943 D steel cents, making them common in circulated grades, but still highly desirable among collectors because of their unique wartime history. Although most examples are not extremely rare, well-preserved uncirculated coins with bright original surfaces are worth much more than ordinary circulated pieces. The steel composition made these coins magnetic, unlike normal copper pennies, and this characteristic remains one of the easiest ways to identify a genuine 1943 steel cent. The creation of the steel cent was a direct response to the demands of World War II. Copper was urgently needed for shell casings, electrical equipment, and military communications. So the Treasury Department approved the use of low-carbon steel coated with zinc. Millions of Americans noticed the unusual color of the new penny, and often confused it with dimes because of its silver appearance. Despite its practical purpose, the steel cent had several problems. The zinc coating wore off over time, exposing the steel underneath and causing many coins to rust. This led to complaints from the public, and by 1944, the mint returned to producing bronze cents using recycled shell casings from the war effort. As a result, the 1943 steel cent remains the only regular issue United States 1-cent coin made primarily of steel. Collectors today appreciate the 1943 D Lincoln wheat cent not only for its historical importance, but also for the many varieties and errors associated with the series. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and repunched mint marks can add significant value. One of the most famous rarities in American numismatics is the 1943 D copper cent, an extremely rare error created when a few leftover bronze planchets from 1942 were accidentally struck with 1943 dies. Genuine examples are worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars, depending on condition. Because of this, many people carefully examine their 1943 pennies in hopes of discovering one of these legendary rarities. A magnet test and precise weight measurement are essential tools for determining whether a coin is steel or copper. Condition plays a major role in determining the value of a 1943 D steel cent. Coins that circulated heavily often display scratches, worn surfaces, and rust spots, reducing their appeal. In contrast, mint-state examples with strong luster and minimal contact marks command much higher prices. Coins certified by professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC are especially sought after, because authentication provides confidence to collectors and investors. Exceptional pieces graded MS-67 or higher have sold for impressive amounts at auction. Their rarity in such pristine condition makes them desirable additions to advanced collections. Millions were struck. Finding a perfect example more than 80 years later is a difficult challenge. The 1943 D. Lincoln wheat cent represents a remarkable chapter in American history, when the nation adapted its coinage to support the war effort. It serves as a reminder of the sacrifices and innovations that characterized the World War II era. Today, collectors around the world continue to search through old jars, rolls, and inherited collections, hoping to find a valuable steel cent, or perhaps the elusive copper era. Whether worth only a few cents or thousands of dollars, every 1943 D penny tells a story of history, patriotism, and the evolution of United States coinage. For coin enthusiasts, the 1943 D Lincoln wheat cent remains one of the most fascinating and memorable 1-cent coins ever produced by the United States Mint. The 2000p Jefferson Nickel is one of the modern 5-cent coins of the United States and belongs to the long-running Jefferson Nickel series that began in 1938. The letter P beneath the year indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. By the year 2000, the Jefferson Nickel had already become one of the most widely used and recognized coins in everyday American commerce. Although millions of these coins were produced for circulation, the 2000p nickel represents an important part of American numismatic history because it preserves the classic design that had remained largely unchanged for more than 60 years. Collectors value the coin not only for its historical continuity, but also for its connection to Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the third President of the United States. The obverse, or front side of the coin, features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by sculptor Felix Schlag. Jefferson's portrait had appeared on the nickel since 1938, and remained a familiar sight in American pocket change. To the left of the portrait appears the word Liberty, followed by a star and the date 2000. Above the portrait is the national motto, "In God We Trust." The small P mint mark indicating the Philadelphia Mint appears near Jefferson's ponytail. Jefferson was chosen for the nickel because of his enormous contributions to American history, including writing the Declaration of Independence and serving as president from 1801 to 1809. His image on the 5-cent coin serves as a reminder of the principles upon which the nation was founded. The reverse side of the 2000p Jefferson nickel displays one of the most famous buildings in American history, Monticello, Jefferson's home, located in Virginia. The detailed depiction of Monticello was also designed by Felix Schlag and had appeared on the reverse since 1938. Above the building appears the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Below Monticello is the denomination 5 cents, and beneath that are the words United States of America. The image of Monticello symbolizes Jefferson's architectural genius and his love for learning and innovation. This reverse design remained unchanged until 2004, when the United States Mint introduced the Westward Journey series, commemorating the Lewis and Clark expedition. The 2000p Jefferson nickel was struck using a composition consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy composition had been used for Jefferson nickels since the end of World War II. The coin weighs exactly 5.0 grams, has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and features a plain edge. Its metallic composition gives it the characteristic silver-gray color recognized by millions of Americans. Because nickel is a durable metal, many 2000p nickels remain in excellent condition despite years of circulation. Their resistance to wear has helped preserve design details that make them attractive to collectors searching through pocket change and bankrolls. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 955 million Jefferson nickels in the year 2000. Such a large mintage means that circulated examples are still common and usually worth only face value. However, collectors seek coins with exceptional strikes, brilliant luster, and minimal contact marks. High-grade mint-state examples, certified by professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC, can command premiums, particularly those receiving grades of MS66 or higher. Coins displaying full steps on the Monticello building are especially prized because the steps at the base of Monticello are often weakly struck. Full steps examples indicate superior strike quality and are considered premium pieces among Jefferson Nickel specialists. Many collectors enjoy searching 2000p nickels for mint errors and varieties. Some examples exhibit off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or doubled dies. Such errors occurred during the minting process and can increase a coin's value depending on their rarity and appearance. Collectors also examine these coins for unusual die polishing lines and other interesting characteristics. Although major varieties are uncommon, discovering a dramatic mint error can make an otherwise ordinary 5-cent coin highly collectible and valuable. The year 2000 marked the beginning of a new millennium, adding additional interest to coins dated that year. Americans celebrated the arrival of the 21st century, and many people saved coins dated 2000 as souvenirs of this historic occasion. As a result, numerous uncirculated examples survive today. Mint sets issued by the United States Mint also included specially preserved 2000p Jefferson nickels with attractive surfaces and sharp details. These official sets have become popular among collectors seeking high-quality examples from the millennium year. Thomas Jefferson's residence, Monticello, is one of America's most important historical landmarks. The building, featured prominently on the reverse of the nickel, reflects Jefferson's architectural talent and intellectual curiosity. Located near Charlottesville, Virginia, Monticello is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and attracts visitors from around the world. Its appearance on the Jefferson nickel connects everyday commerce with American history and culture. Millions of people handled these coins without realizing they carried an image of one of the nation's greatest historical treasures. Today, the 2000p Jefferson nickel remains an accessible and enjoyable coin for collectors of all experience levels. While most circulated examples are common, coins in pristine condition and full-step specimens can be considerably more valuable. The coin represents more than simply 5 cents. It symbolizes over 60 years of design tradition, honors one of America's most influential presidents, and preserves the image of Monticello for future generations. Whether found in circulation, saved in a collection, or discovered in an old coin jar, the 2000p Jefferson nickel continues to be a meaningful piece of United States numismatic history and an enduring reminder of Thomas Jefferson's legacy. The 1972 Eisenhower Dollar is one of the most historically significant and popular $1 coins of the modern United States. Introduced in 1971, the Eisenhower Dollar series honored President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and one of the most respected military leaders in American history. The coin also commemorated America's achievements in space exploration, particularly the Apollo 11 moon landing. The inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1972 appear on the coin, while the reverse carries the denomination $1, the national name United States of America, and the Latin motto E Pluribus Unum. The 1972 issue is especially famous among collectors because several different reverse varieties exist, making it one of the most interesting years in the Eisenhower Dollar series. The obverse, or front side, was designed by Chief Engraver Frank Gasparow and features a left-facing portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower. Above his portrait appears the word Liberty, while the national motto "In God We Trust" is positioned below his neck. The year 1972 is displayed at the bottom. Eisenhower served as Supreme Commander of Allied forces during World War II and later became president from 1953 to 1961. His leadership during critical moments in world history made him one of America's most admired statesmen. The portrait on the coin reflects his strong and dignified character and serves as a lasting tribute to his contributions to the nation. The reverse design is equally important and symbolic. It depicts an eagle descending toward the lunar surface with an olive branch in its claws. This design was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia and symbolizes peace as well as America's achievements in space exploration. Above the eagle is the inscription E Pluribus Unum, while around the edge appear the words United States of America and $1. The moon's surface beneath the eagle and the Earth in the background celebrate one of humanity's greatest accomplishments. Frank Gaspereau adapted this design from the Apollo 11 emblem, creating one of the most memorable reverses ever used on an American coin. The 1972 Eisenhower Dollar was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark. Denver coins have the D mint mark, and San Francisco struck special collector versions with the S mint mark. The regular circulation coins were composed of copper nickel clad over a pure copper core and weighed approximately 22.68 grams with a diameter of 38.1 millimeters. Special collector versions produced at San Francisco contained 40% silver and were issued in both uncirculated and proof formats. Because of its large size, the Eisenhower dollar became the last large-sized dollar coin intended for general circulation in the United States. Among collectors, the 1972 Eisenhower dollar is especially famous because of its 3 major reverse varieties, commonly referred to as Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3. These varieties differ in the appearance of the Earth above the eagle. The Type 1 reverse shows the islands of Florida and the Caribbean in a somewhat blurred form. Type 2, which is the rarest variety, features a more detailed Earth with reduced islands and sharper outlines. Type 3 displays a revised design with clearly defined islands. The Type 2 variety was produced only at the Philadelphia Mint and is one of the most valuable, regular-issue Eisenhower dollars. High-grade examples of the Type 2 variety can command substantial premiums and are highly sought after by specialists. Production figures for 1972 were enormous. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 75,890,000 coins, while the Denver Mint produced around 92,548,000 pieces. Millions more silver collector coins were struck at San Francisco. Despite these high mintages, many examples entered circulation and acquired heavy wear. Finding coins with strong luster, minimal contact marks, and attractive surfaces can be challenging because the large size of the coin made it susceptible to scratches and bag marks. High-grade mint state examples, certified by PCGS or NGC, are significantly more valuable than ordinary circulated pieces. Collectors also study the 1972 Eisenhower dollar for errors and varieties. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and double dies are among the more interesting mint errors that can occur. Some coins exhibit repunched mint marks or dramatic striking abnormalities. Error coins with visually impressive characteristics are highly collectible and may command premiums far above the value of normal examples. Because the Eisenhower dollar's large surface area makes imperfections easy to detect, collectors carefully examine these coins for unusual features. The silver-clad collector versions struck at San Francisco are particularly desirable. These coins contain 40% silver and were sold directly to collectors by the United States Mint. Proof versions display mirror-like fields and frosted devices, creating an attractive cameo appearance. Uncirculated silver specimens feature brilliant surfaces and sharp details. These special issues are often preserved in original government packaging and remain popular among collectors who appreciate both silver content and historical significance. The Eisenhower dollar series had a relatively short life, lasting from 1971 through 1978. In 1975 and 1976, special bicentennial designs commemorated the 200th anniversary of American independence. After 1978, the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar replaced the large Eisenhower dollar. Nevertheless, the series remains beloved by collectors because it honors both a great American president and the success of the Apollo space program. The 1972 issue, with its fascinating reverse varieties and rich historical background, occupies a special place within the series. Today, the 1972 Eisenhower Dollar continues to attract collectors around the world. Common circulated examples are readily available, but high-grade specimens, and especially the rare Type II reverse coins, are much more valuable. Whether appreciated for their connection to President Eisenhower, their tribute to Apollo 11, or the challenge of assembling all three reverse varieties, these coins remain enduring symbols of American history, technological achievement, and numismatic artistry. The 1972 Eisenhower Dollar stands as one of the most fascinating and collectible $1 coins ever produced by the United States Mint, and continues to hold a special place in the hearts of coin enthusiasts everywhere. The 1980p Susan B. Anthony Dollar is one of the most distinctive and historically important $1 coins ever issued by the United States Mint. Introduced in 1979, the Susan B. Anthony Dollar represented a major change in American coinage because it was the first circulating U.S. coin to honor a real American woman. The P Mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Although the coin's circulation life was relatively short, it occupies an important place in numismatic history because it marked a significant effort by the United States Treasury to replace the larger Eisenhower Dollar with a smaller and more convenient coin. Today, the 1980p Susan B. Anthony Dollar is admired by collectors for its historical importance and connection to one of America's most influential leaders in the fight for women's rights. The obverse, or front side of the coin, features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony facing right. Designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparro, the image captures Anthony's determined expression and honors her lifelong efforts to secure voting rights for women. Above the portrait appears the word Liberty, while the national motto In God We Trust is located to the right. 13 stars surround the portrait, symbolizing the original 13 colonies. The date 1980 appears at the bottom, and the small P Mint mark can be found above Anthony's shoulder. Susan B. Anthony was a prominent suffragist and reformer whose work contributed significantly to the eventual passage of the 19th Amendment, granting women the right to vote in the United States. Her appearance on the dollar coin represented a milestone in American coin design and recognition of women's contributions to the nation's history. The reverse side of the 1980p Susan B. Anthony Dollar carries a design inherited from the Eisenhower Dollar series. At the center is an eagle landing on the moon while holding an olive branch, symbolizing peace and commemorating the achievements of the Apollo 11 moon landing. Surrounding the design are the words United States of America and $1. Above the eagle is the Latin motto E Pluribus Unum. The reverse design was also created by Frank Gasparro and was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia. The combination of the eagle and lunar surface celebrates America's accomplishments in space exploration and reflects the technological progress of the 20th century. This design remained unchanged throughout the Susan B. Anthony Dollar series. The 1983 Susan B. Anthony Dollar was struck using a copper-nickel clad composition over a pure copper core. The coin weighs approximately 8.1 grams and measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter. Its 11-sided inner border gives the coin a unique appearance, although the outer edge is round. Because of its size and color, many Americans confuse the Susan B. Anthony Dollar with the quarter dollar, which contributed to the coin's limited acceptance in circulation. Despite being intended for widespread use, many of these dollars quickly disappeared into bank vaults and private collections, leaving paper currency to remain dominant in everyday commerce. Production at the Philadelphia Mint during 1980 was substantial, with approximately 27,610,000 coins struck for circulation. In addition, millions of uncirculated examples were included in official mint sets issued to collectors. While ordinary circulated specimens are generally worth only a small premium above face value, High-grade examples with exceptional surfaces and strong luster can command higher prices. Coins certified MS66, MS67, or above by professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC are particularly desirable. Well-preserved coins displaying attractive mint frost and minimal contact marks are increasingly difficult to locate because the relatively soft surfaces of clad coins are susceptible to scratches and abrasions. Collectors also search for varieties and mint errors associated with the 1983 Susan B. Anthony dollar. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and double dies are among the errors that occasionally appear. Some examples exhibit interesting die polishing lines and repunched mint marks. While major varieties are uncommon, dramatic minting mistakes can significantly increase the value of a coin. Error collectors carefully inspect Susan B. Anthony dollars because unusual examples can become valuable additions to specialized collections. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Susan B. Anthony dollar series is its short production history. After being introduced in 1979, public acceptance remained poor because many people confused the coin with the quarter. Production ceased after 1981, though the series returned briefly in 1999 due to a shortage of dollar coins, before the introduction of the Sacagawea dollar in 2000. As a result, the Susan B. Anthony dollar series remains one of the shortest modern coin series in United States history. The 1980p issue forms an essential part of that brief but historically important chapter. Susan B. Anthony herself remains one of the most respected figures in American history. Born in 1820, she devoted her life to the causes of women's suffrage, equal rights, and social reform. Although she did not live to see women gain the right to vote in 1920, her efforts laid the foundation for one of the most important constitutional changes in the nation. The decision to place her portrait on the dollar coin in 1979 reflected the growing recognition of her contributions and symbolized progress toward equality and inclusion in American society. Today, the 1980p Susan B. Anthony dollar continues to attract collectors and historians alike. While most examples are common and affordable, premium quality coins and rare mint errors can command substantial premiums. More importantly, the coin represents a turning point in American coinage and honors a woman whose influence transformed the course of United States history. Whether preserved in mint sets, discovered in circulation, or inherited through collections, the 1980p Susan B. Anthony dollar stands as an enduring tribute to Susan B. Anthony, the Apollo program, and the continuing story of American numismatic heritage.